ada hewan aneh di Australia?
Yay! I got it! Oh my gosh, tapos ko na lahat yung lesson! So we're in a really nice place. Apa kabar semuanya? Nama saya Roxanne. On the last day of 2019, I decided that tahun ini, 2020, I want to learn a new language. Like, I really want to. I'm already quite fluent in English. Of course, I know Tagalog. Makawatakmit lang ti Ilocos, ta Ilocano a. At first, I thought about learning French because I've already taken some French units when I was in college. Although I kinda sucked. Next, I considered learning Japanese because I am such a huge fan of Studio Ghibli films. And I also considered learning Korean because of Korean dramas. But I gave up because of the alphabet. I just didn't have enough patience to learn an entirely new alphabet just to learn a new language. So I gave up on Japanese and Korean. So I thought further, and then it suddenly dawned on me, why not Bahasa Indonesia? I think we're using the same alphabet. I did my research. First thing I learned is that you have to specify it. It has to be Bahasa Indonesia and not just Bahasa. Because the word Bahasa literally translates to language. So if you say Bahasa Indonesia, you're saying Indonesian language. If you say Bahasa Melayu, you're saying Malaysian language. If you say Bahasa Inggris, you're saying English language. Bahasa Filipina, Filipino language. The list goes on. Please don't annoy Indonesians by calling their language Bahasa. It's not Bahasa, it has to be Bahasa Indonesia. Actually, they say it as Bahasa Indonesia. Is that right? To my Indonesian friends, it's Bahasa Indonesia, right? Also, I found out that Bahasa Indonesia is one of the standardized forms of the Malay language. The other one is Bahasa Melayu. Bahasa Indonesia and Bahasa Melayu are very similar languages that to foreigners like myself, I might think that they're just the same. But they're not. Think of the difference between American English and British English. Like how Americans will say flashlight, but the British will say torch. It's kind of like that between Bahasa Indonesia and Bahasa Melayu. They're similar, but they're not the same. So I had to choose which language am I going to learn, and obviously, I chose Bahasa Indonesia. Aku belajar Bahasa Indonesia, bukan Bahasa Melayu. Let's just clarify. Now, if you're gonna ask me why I chose Bahasa Indonesia, number one, there are a lot more Indonesians than there are Malaysians. So, sinearch ko yung current population ng Indonesia. As of September 27, 2020, because that's the day I'm filming this video, the Indonesian population is at 273,523,615. Compared to Malaysia, Malaysia's population is only at 32.7 million. See? Yeah. If I learn Bahasa Indonesia, I'll be opening more doors of communication because I'll be able to communicate with over 200 million people. And also for a very personal reason, which I call calling. And I feel like Indonesia is the nation that I am more inclined to. I choose Indonesia. Kucinta kamu Indonesia! Thank you for fighting for our seas when our own government couldn't. And lastly, this is really what convinced me to learn Bahasa Indonesia. There are a lot of similarities between Bahasa Indonesia and Filipino. Like, I just found out that I actually already know a lot of Bahasa Indonesia. I just had to know that I know them. And that's the point of our video. You know, the best way to learn something is to teach it. So I'm gonna teach you guys some of these things that I've been learning about Bahasa Indonesia. Yay! So I invited some of my Indonesian friends to collab with me. Let me introduce them to you.
Halo semuanya, perkenalkan namaku Lucy, aku dari Jawa Tengah.
Halo, nama saya Indah Isabel, saya berasal dari Jawa Tengah.
Kenalkan aku Dini, aku temannya Roxanne, I'm from Indonesia.
Halo, aku Bila dari Jawa Tengah, Indonesia.
Dan ako Miss Roxanne dari Philippines. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started.
Penuh.
Puno,
Lembut.
lembot,
Bodoh.
bobo,
Atas.
taas,
Bau.
baho,
Langit,
langit,
angin,
hangin,
bulan,
buwan,
Batu.
bato,
Mata.
mata,
telinga,
tenga,
sikut,
siko,
dinding,
dingding,
pintu,
pinto,
Empat.
apat,
Lima.
lima,
Enam.
anim,
Datang.
dating,
Balik.
balik,
Beli.
bili,
Pilih.
pilih,
Baca.
basa,
Surat.
sulat,
Tahun.
taon,
Berita.
balita,
Cinta.
sinta,
asam,
asin,
pahit,
pait,
manis,
tamis,
cuka,
suka,
terong,
talong,
kangkung,
kangkong,
mangkuk,
mangkok,
perak,
pilak,
senjata,
sandata,
tolong,
tulong,
harga,
halaga,
Timbangan.
timbangan. And that's it for now. Yay! So those are some of the things that I've been learning about this language called Bahasa Indonesia. I am determined to be fluent in this language. Ku sangat suka menjadi lebih baik dengan bahasa ini. Untuk teman-temanku yang orang Indonesia, ku harap aku tak merusak bahasanya. Ku hanya tahu sedikit. Aku masih belajar bahasa ini, jadi maafkan kalau aku belum bagus. Kalau kamu suka video ini, jangan lupa memberi dan menulis komen di bawah.
terima kasih. Terima kasih.
Don't forget to subscribe this channel. You're gonna miss everything if you don't do this.
Dan sampai jumpa lagi. Bye! Tak bersatu teruskan dunia kita berbeda. Bila memang ini ujungnya, kau kan tetap ada di dalam jiwa. Hanya dia yang selalu ada. Kala susah dan senangku, ku mau dia. Dan aku kembali menatap matahari yang berseri. Oh, ku tak sendiri, cintamu selalu bersemi. Kita pahami, oh cinta, cinta. Diriku dan hatiku, dadaku jiwaku, pesan laguku tentang cinta.